Banter fam. Okay, everyone's sitting in anticipation, right? I even see a lot of people possibly starting to doubt we doomed. Guys, look at this chart, right? The weekly is literally a couple of percentage away on the total 3 altcoin market all-time high break. Market is sitting flat is because it's at the biggest damn resistance that you get. But we know that once you get through a resistance, we don't see it for a very long time. So today is very important for us to get ready and go through a couple of narratives, right? I see my camera is a little bit fuzzy. Okay, and for us to actually look at what is going to explode first. We are already starting to see on a little climb up of Bitcoin back to $105,000. We're starting to see a couple of altcoins that are outperforming the rest. And it's giving us a good insight of which alts are going to break the weekly resistances first, okay, and which ones are going to be the leaders. Now, in today's show, I'm going to speak about a couple of categories, right? We're going to speak a little bit about the Trump tokens. We're going to speak a little bit about the L1s. We're going to speak about a little bit of the gaming. We're going to go a little bit of the AI agents as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a nice understanding of who are the current leaders. Okay, because if you are not prepared when the market explodes, you're going to be sitting on your hands and you're going to be fighting really hard for an entry. The fact that the market is sitting flat at the biggest breakout points that we have in altcoin history, right? The moment that altcoins break through this 1.4 or 1.14 trillion mark, that's the highest that altcoins have ever been in the entire market cap of the crypto cycle, right? Or the total crypto amount. So the important thing today is to understand that, yes, prices are slowing down. Okay, but this does give you the opportunity for these damn entries now and for you to be ahead of the ball. You don't want to figure these things out when the market wakes up. You want to be sitting pretty in your bags and actually focusing on where you're going to be banking profits. Biggest mistake that people make is they wait for the markets to move to make decisions, right? And that's something that you cannot do. You need to be prepared before the rest so that you can be on the other side when the market starts to take off. Right now, it's all about the buying game. Prepare your portfolio game. Get ready for the move game, right? The moment the market pops, the rest of the market, or a lot of people are going to come flying to crypto, and they're going to be saying, what are we buying, right? We're going to be sitting where we're selling, where we're getting out, where we're going to be taking profits. And that's a very important part. So today's a nice, a little bit more of a macro show. And we're going to go through a bunch of selective altcoins so we can see the strength within these alts and we can be the ones that are prepared. If you guys are happy with that, hit the like, hit the thumbs up. We know how this game works. We are the ones now drinking tequila, right? The club's empty. It's not that many people in the club right now, but we know. Get warmed up now, baby. Let's get our front row seats now. Let's get everything going now. When the market explodes, then we are going to be those on the other side that are sitting nice and comfortable. And the important thing, again, is the market. They always say the calm before the storm. And that is how crypto works. The slow climb, slow climb, slow climb. The fact that we're not breaking supports, Bitcoin's not below $100,000. That was the concern, okay, that we're going to start to lose steam. We are slowly creeping up. And I want to show you this here as well, that if you look here, the dominance is slowly slowing down. And I want to show you guys this over here. Look at that. Firstly, it's an uprising wedge on the shorter time frame, and we're actually starting to lose some short-term supports. So the dominance is starting to slow down, very much indicating for us that there is the strength within the altcoins incoming. Okay, and we have to be very, very, very focused. So no more wasting time. Let's have a great show. Let's have a little bit more calm show today. I'm not feeling the greatest, so I'm here to just go through tons of charts with you guys and make sure that we are all prepared with our positions. Okay, and let's get ready for the next major pump. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Fam, if you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and like the video up. I'll be giving away 3 Bitfunded accounts and I'll be giving away 3 Sniper Club accounts. I do want to mention Sniper Club quickly because I do have a live stream incoming. So I just want to show you guys over here quickly. Let's just go to the show below. I just want to show you because you still have 2 hours to join the session today if you want to join Sniper Club. What I'm doing is we've been focusing on a 10x challenge, right? And what that is it's a very advanced trading leverage strategy. We actually start off on a 2x leverage, and over time you start to build the leverage up quite a bit once your stop loss is above entry. And I basically teach, you know, we had a little bit of a round trip the other day where we entered the Thor chain and we got it around 3.1 and we actually wrote it up to the areas of 4.2. And we managed to build our leverage from a 3-4x up to the 8x, right? And then the market kind of got a little bit manipulated, came back down, stopped us at entries, and now we basically in it again, right? And we got it at the lows yesterday. We're sitting in a bit of profits. And what the whole goal here is to understand is right now the market is doing this in a range, but when the market starts to trend again, right, you start to get these very big high time frame squeezes. And what you're able to do is you're able to actually dip your toes. And again, it's all about understanding that you have one set of cash, right, sitting in your portfolio. It's about what are you going to do with that money, right? What is the purpose behind that money? So what I do specifically is around 70% sits on weekly entries only, right? Entries that you're kind of getting today, where you're going to buy these things at really good high time frame entries, and you're just going to be patient for the big term swings, right? We know that when the market gets to a certain point, it's going to diversify into altcoins. Okay, and that's the last phase of the cycle where the altcoins come in, brings everyone in, brings a lot of liquidity. Okay, and that's when the big wallets start to sell behind door and all these things start to happen, right? So 70% of the money chills. Then I have this account, right, which is the 20% of the money. And that's basically, these are the spot trades, the 2Xs, and we've been running this account. I'm still sitting on 640K. I've been sitting, and this is also for the bigger 3-month, 6-month swings and these type of things. And then what I have is those portfolios, which are basically the areas of the, your 5%, your 6% portfolios. And in club today, I'm actually going through the 3 major strategies of 10xing on one single trade. A lot of people think they need to trade a lot. You actually got to trade one token, and you got to trade trades with inside of those tokens. And as they build, you don't need to go to more tokens because that one's moving quicker. You have leverage on your side. You're able to duplicate and build your accounts and use a lot of the exchange's money versus your own money as well. So guys, if you want to really pay attention to getting the sharpest tools right now for the bull market, I would seriously say join club today and come through here. Here's the club link over here. You can actually meet me in 2 hours, and I'm doing a full session with the club as well, and just going through these because it's so important to be prepared and to obviously make sure that you have these strategies set for when you're basically going. Maddie, I see around 60% of people are bullish, guys. How are we doing? Let me know. Okay, some are bearish. Tell me why you're bearish. Are you worried that Trump's not going to say anything? The less he says, the better. And I'm going to be very honest with that, right? The moment that we start to open the mouths, then we start to get what you're getting now is you're getting a slow market, okay, and you're getting a slow grind up. And what you're doing is you're neutralizing the market and getting it back to its original natural form. And when it's in its natural form is when you get a altcoin pump like we saw a couple of months ago, right? I think it was around 3 months ago, just after Trump walked through the doors 2 months ago. We actually saw a natural move within the altcoins, okay? And that was no mentions from any big names, no nothing, okay? The market had a little bit of good news. It broke structure. Once it broke structure, there was no massive bullish news on altcoins and these things. And altcoins end up doing some altcoins at 300-400% in that time. Okay, so the less that is not spoken about now, the better. The market is sitting in a bit of anticipation, but what it's doing is it's neutralizing again. And you got to understand that this is how the market resets, right? If you look at any time when it comes to a bear market or anything like that, you can always see that the market will basically go through the big manipulative stage, right? Where there's a lot of news and things like that. Then the market will sit and be very confused, very similar to where we are now, going up, down, ranging, okay? And then what it does is it starts to neutralize and slowly starts to climb, okay? And then what that starts to do is it starts to bring in a little bit more confidence slowly, okay, and then the hype starts to build slowly. So the less talking, in my opinion, the better, right? I do think along this journey, though, in the next couple of weeks, I do think we're going to have the random mentions. We're going to have maybe a ETH mention. We're going to have maybe a Doge mention. And we're going to have these little things that are going to maybe send 1 or 2 of these altcoins parabolic very quickly, right? And that's why today is so important to get all your bets in place, because that's what you're doing, right? You're basically taking narratives and you're taking your money and you're basically saying that I'm going to take bets in each of these narratives. And one token will do crazy things at different times, okay? And that is the important thing to understand, that right now you're looking at what are those bets, what am I taking? And when a damn tweet mention happens or a big name or someone talks about a damn altcoin, your altcoin is going to do 100% in a day, right? And it's important then to start taking profits on that, have some sort of plan on that, okay? And you leave the rest of your bets in, because next week another name will talk about another one, okay? There's always going to be a reason behind a pump. Okay, but you got to understand that that's not what's going to move this whole market now and do everything. That's going to basically send 1 or 2. Overall, the market is definitely getting to a point where Bitcoin is starting to maybe slow down a little bit, right? And what you're getting is a diversification. And the main thing now is I don't think Bitcoin is going to slow down its pump at all. the difference that I think is going to happen is you have the total three that is sitting this close to the all-time highs, right? And you have Bitcoin that's sitting in all-time high territory. It's above $100,000. All that I see now is I see them combining on the next pump. Okay, I basically see the roadmap of Bitcoin going to that $120,000, $130,000 pretty quickly, but that at the same time, altcoins are going to be breaking their all-time high. And what you're going to see is you're going to see both of them start to pump. Now, obviously, altcoins have smaller market caps, and altcoins are going to outperform and grow quicker within Bitcoin. But what you are going to see is a total market cap breakout. And that's what we want this time, where for the last couple of weeks or couple of months, it's mainly been focused around Bitcoin. Guys, I don't know about you, but we have gone through a lot of bullish news on Bitcoin over the last year, right? I am now getting to that point where if I go through my notepad, ETF, there's not much left when it comes to Bitcoin itself. Okay, that is really going to just be Bitcoin, other than a couple new big names, breaking highs, things like that. And that's why for me, it gives us the perfect time that it's time for altcoins to join the party. Now, again, Bitcoin is your most your most mature person at the party, right? He's the OG. He's there. He's been there. You know, he's that guy at the bar that can just drink those damn 20 beers, and he's fine every night, and he's there same time, same place, and he does it, right? He's the OG. You always have that OG in the bar, and you're like, hi, Fred. What's up, Fred? What's up, bro? You know, he's there every day. He survives. He gets through it all. That's OG Bitcoin. Right now, the rowdy bunch is going to enter the party, and that's your altcoins, baby. This is where your rowdy bunch, your younger tech, all these things are going to start to come into the play over here, and that's what you're going to get now. You're going to get an overall bar that's going to pump galore, okay? But you're going to have those that are going to get drunk very quickly, and you're going to have those that are very, very, very stable. But main thing here, guys, is to understand that total three is very close to an all-time high break, and this is kind of what we've been waiting for a long time, right? The first signal was what? The first major thing was to get to all-time highs, right? Because the big thing that took time was obviously altcoins sat here for a long period. Guys, everyone that's watching the stream today, you can be very, I wouldn't say lucky, okay, but this was hard to get through. This is not hard to get through right now. Don't allow this to shake you out now and to make you lose steam or make you think that anything's different, right? This was tough. This was many months of altcoins doing absolutely nothing. Okay, Bitcoin doing nothing. That was a very hard point. And what that was obviously accumulation, right? It's basically when the biggest wallets and the biggest whales accumulate over a long period of time. And then when the market starts to shift, and what happens then is all these whales here, they start to sell in over here, and poor retail come in very much and they buy the tops, right? They end up holding all their bags all the way down. Okay, then the market does this, and the poor people that bought over here start selling out over here. And these guys that bought here and sold out here, they start buying here again, right? It's basically just a shift within hands, okay? Where a lot of people got panicked out in that stage. But nonetheless, this is the boring stage where things start to flow. And what, again, this is, is that phase A, right? That phase A is getting out of damn bear territory and actually making your way back up, to the second half of the range. Because you could see here that the altcoins, it's a range, right? You've got the bottom range and the top range. Okay, the bottom range is accumulating in bear markets. Top range is starting to enter the next phase, getting ready to go into bull market. Okay, and the phase C is bull market. Okay, so the fact that we have gotten through this was the big steps for us to get through. The big hurdles, right? Get through the 200-day moving average. Get through all of these things were big breaks within alts. We are past that stage now. Now what we're doing is we're literally hugging and sitting at the top of phase B. And once we get through here, again, it basically turns the market. We are basically at this phase over here within altcoins, right? And all that you're going to have now is you're going to have Bitcoin still go up over the next couple of months, but you're going to basically have altcoins start to enter the party. And this is where it gets really volatile. So what we are fighting for now, and the market is sitting over here, is this big swing. Now, why it's so important for you today to make sure that you are ready, make sure that your narratives are ready, your bets are ready, all these things are ready, is because the volatility index is about to shoot through the roof, right? And you can see it very clearly over here. If you made any mistake, okay, and just look at this over here on the left side over here, right? If you look at the moment we broke these highs over here, any time that you bought later than this, you actually went into a loss, okay? And this is the big thing to understand here. If you bought here, you actually went into a loss a couple of weeks later, okay? If you bought here, you went into at least a 40% loss, okay? And if you bought here, you went into at least a 60 to 70% loss, okay? So for me, the fact that we are still sitting over here, I think you're going to get entries okay, not only that are going to do incredibly well, but I think that will not get you into major losses in the future. Okay, this might even be, and this is the very important thing to understand as well, you know, these current highs that you're seeing, or where you're seeing the altcoin market at right now, might actually be the lows of the next cycle. Okay, and just to show you what exactly I mean of that is, look how this all-time high here on the left became the new lows a couple of years later, right? So not only did we do incredible in 2017, in 2021 we did a lot better, right? But what managed to happen though is we came down and we turned 2017's previous high into support. Okay, and I don't see that method stopping within this market. Okay, I don't see that stopping, and not only don't I see it stopping, I do see us from here starting that massive acceleration, and after the cycle, this becomes the lows. So if you are, and you maybe not on the same page as me, where I say I'm going to get out a lot of my portfolio within this market, right? But you're a true believer of your alts. I believe that these entries will actually survive the next bull market, bear market. Okay, which means as an investor, you're getting really big opportunities if you want to invest in these tokens for the next 10, 20 years. Okay, and that's the big thing to understand. So where we're at right now is just do not lose damn focus and get your damn bags ready, because this is where we do have that slight pause. And what that does, and this is what I love about humans, is humans are very goldfish-like. You know, they kind of forget, you know, how quickly things change, and how one big green candle just changes everything and basically breaks everything very quickly. Okay, and what I also like about it is how quickly they forget the pain, right? And that's why for me, this little sitting sideways here kind of drives humans nuts, and then we start to rally up. So again, everything, you know, we haven't even had an ETH all-time high break just yet. We just got a Solana all-time high break. We haven't even had a Chainlink or a Doge or anything there. The good stuff is still to come. So let's go through a couple of things, and let's speak about the market and start preparing for a few things. So I want to go through here on Bitcoin. Here's the two plays. Bitcoin is not far. Again, I still think by the end of this week, I do think Bitcoin is back at all-time highs, if not have actually broken all-time highs, right? I do think the market is going to still continue to slowly go up again. I don't know if you've noticed, but the market is settling, right? It is not just in this massive rampage. That was crazy, right? That was just wild. You know, not easy to get through patches like that unless you're a hodler, right? A hodler would have they would have been 20% richer, 20% broke, 20% richer, 20% broke, and now neutral in 4 days, right? Leverage traders, boom, blow up, right? Because leverage, especially if you got too much money in your leverage accounts, you would have got pretty hurt very quickly, okay? But look what we're getting now. Now we're starting to get the slowdown within Bitcoin. And all we're looking for now is a higher low on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's going to attempt those highs again. And again, I see the altcoins obviously joining the party when this happens. So there's two big bounce zones today. The one we've already hit, right? And all that I'm looking for now is a break of this trend line here. If we start breaking this trend line in the next hour or two, I see the market, especially the market open today, I do see Bitcoin making its way up. And I won't be surprised in the next, 36 hours, anyway, in that time, 48 hours, we'll actually be back at $108,000, $109,000. Then the market's going to sit in anticipation and then obviously start preparing. But for me, it is still a magnet that I see Bitcoin going to these areas over here. I wonder where my drawing went. Team, where's my drawing from yesterday? But nonetheless, from here, I'm looking at this go up to the areas of the 120, 130. Then a shakeout and then a major alt season rally that happens from there. So keep an eye out on this. There's two bounce zones on Bitcoin. The one we've already hit, which is the 104,500. And there is a scenario the market actually wants to come down a little bit more today to around the 103. Then I see stabilizing and I see the market going up. So I don't think the pullback's going to last much longer. And I can see here that the total 3 agrees with us too, right? The total 3 next pump goes into all-time high territory. So what you have now, what I'm very happy about now, is I actually like that the altcoins have recovered the dump. This is a good sign, right? You could see here on the left, the altcoins went through, if I had to draw it, that's what it did. Then it did that, then it did that, then it did that, and now we are here, right? What I'm very happy about is that in this phase over here, we are not stuck in this place, because if we came down and we were stuck here, I'd be like, guys, there might be another leg, right? But the fact that we have broken through all of that and now the alts are sitting here is showing me that alts have recovered, but firstly, they're actually looking very strong. And what we're looking at now is you're basically looking at, again, a higher low. So 2 scenarios here. The low might be in, but the second scenario is we do dip off a little bit lower, and then we start this rally up. And there's 2 short-term squeezes, and this is why I don't think altcoins are going to sit in current prices for much longer. Because the moment that alts go up 3%, they have a short-term squeeze, okay, and that will take it up quite aggressively to this area over here, right? That will already set you up 10-15% from where you are now. Once we get through there, you're looking at 100 to a 200 to a 300% pump incoming, and that's why I want to go through many alts for you guys today. So we go through a couple here. I am personally longing the crap out of ETH, okay? I even put a tweet out and I said no financial advice, okay? But I said buy, right? And for me, it's a big one. For me, again, what I showed you guys yesterday was a very important thing to understand over here. You know, understanding that this exact place has always marked the lows to ETH to Bitcoin. Okay, so what I am seeing from ETH over the next couple of weeks is I'm seeing that rally, right? I'm seeing that strong rally over there. And again, this means that I am still bullish on Bitcoin. I am still looking at Bitcoin go to the $140,000. However, in that same time, I do see ETH outperforming Bitcoin by 100 to 150%. Okay, I still think that we are going to see there's 3 targets for me on ETH. There's $7,000, $11,000, and $15,000. It all depends, right? If we are only at that $10,000 by the May sort of time, then that's sort of the tops for me, right? But I still have open doors to a $12,000 to $15,000 ETH, right? But my first target is a $7,000 ETH, and that's where I am now building those 10x trades and those sort of things that I'm going to show the club now in the next 2 hours. But nonetheless, if you look at this over here, this is what I'm seeing from ETH. I'm seeing it maybe a mention and maybe anything, but I do see ETH coming to life very quickly, right? And I do see this road to 4,000 happening very fast. So I think that there's 2 very good entries on ETH. I think 3,300 is very good. And I think if we do go cheaper to 3.1, if Bitcoin does want to do that little 103 pullback, I think they are very cheap entries for ETH. I'm very bullish on ETH and I'm strong on ETH. I gave you guys the buyers on Sol yesterday, and I'm telling you that I still think Solana's in a buy zone. Okay, Sol did not go parabolic yet. It actually just needed some volume to get to all-time highs. Now what's going to happen is this was all hype, right? Now you're going to get Solana slowly, naturally moving to the upside again. And I do think this is a road to a $400 Solana. So Sol, the fact that it broke the trends now, still actually below the previous all-time highs, okay, which still considers you earlier, considered the difference in buying at 290, okay, is now you've broken out, you are retesting, and I'm seeing that slow climb come within Solana as well. So these are part of the, I would say, the larger market cap tokens. These are the 5 that I really think are quite urgent to make sure that you have positions in, right? Is the ETH, is the Solana. I want to go through a couple of Sol targets as well, just to show you guys how I'm looking at this, okay, and what I'm looking at. So there's there's 2 Solana targets for me on the longer time frame. There's $400 to $435, okay, and then we got $650 and $690. These are definitely my $2 costing out. When we get to 400 to 435, I will be getting around 30% out of my Solana. And by the time we start getting to anywhere between the 600 and 650, I will be getting out at least 70% of my Solana. Leave 30 in case you want us to do crazy things after that. But you need an exit strategy, right? You need to understand. And for me, guys, I am not playing around this time. I need to get out of this market in this bull market, right? I held everything last market, which was cool, right? I still did well, but I probably gave around 90% of the capital back. With this bull market, I'm very strict. Like I have an extreme financial target that I want to hit this cycle, okay? And I really want to retire my mother and I really want to buy my family a house, right? Like those are my 2 number 1 things, which means I really have to have a sell strategy. I really got to understand what the hell I'm doing, right? So for 400, 435, 650, $690 is my Sol areas and laddering out targets for the high time frame. And I think these entries are ones that are good to get you there, right? That's a 1 to 2x. And for me, this is a little bit more money that I'm playing with rather than like my gaming portfolio. That's quite different, right? The money that I'm putting in my gaming and the money that I'm putting into Solana, different amounts, because Sol, I believe in a little bit more. Okay, it's got a larger market cap. It's literally gone to $8 and back to $250. It has shown that it has strength, that it can come back from any promise before. So for me, the ETH, the Sols, and that, these are larger parts of my portfolio. Okay. The next thing over here is Chainlink, guys. I really think you're running out of entries on Chainlink. Okay, Chainlink is the glue, okay, within crypto. You have all these protocols, you have all these different chains, and you need glue that interlinks everything together, right? Chain link, right? Linking everything together. Chainlink has a very big place within crypto, okay, and there's not much in its category. That's what makes me even more bullish than that. When it comes to Solana, you know, you have your ETH, your Phantoms, you have your Algos, you have a lot of L1s that are all fighting to kind of do the same thing. When it comes to Chainlink, you got maybe 1, 2, 3 competitors. You don't have many at all, right? Chainlink has always dominated this specific category. Okay, and for me, yes, exit strategy, big, huge, yeah, fantastic. And for me, Chainlink is a absolute sleeper right now, and I think it's going to be. I think it's got a lot of gas still within it. So for me, looking at the strength already, looking at the market starting to recover, it's a no-brainer that Chainlink is holding better than the rest of the market and performing better on the smaller moves to the upside. So Chainlink is breaking out, looking really good. You could see it broke the top of this range over here, this 4-hour range. And for me, it's a no-brainer that at any point now, Chainlink actually goes through the highs. And this time, I see it absolutely smashing the highs. And I want to go here to the high time frame here and show you guys on link. The next highs that I see Chainlink going to is obviously the $35. Now, this is not my sell the bull market targets or anything on Chainlink just yet. However, this is when the real breakout happens. Right, so this is when we enter from the phase A into the phase B, okay, and this is when Chainlink really goes. So this was a time here when it was still in that phase, right? It was still below the early phase over there in the phase A. Chainlink really gets going when it exits the phase A and actually goes into phase B, right? And this has been a beautiful accumulation period for a long period on Chainlink, and we haven't seen a rally all the way since April 2021, right? So for here, it was the token that has broken out a trend through all the diversity, through all the problems in crypto. It is one token that came down and respected the trend beautifully, showed a lot of strength to the downside, okay, and actually hardly pulled back. One of the least pullbacks that actually happened compared to the rest of the market. The moment that Chainlink starts breaking through this $30 to $35 range, it's going to then attempt the highs. Now, I don't think it stops there, right? I actually think Chainlink is going to be a $100 token. However, let's put the tools. The tools is the one that's going to help us. So again, this will be my tools, and this will be my laddering out strategy when it comes to Chainlink. Okay, so the next major areas, once we break the highs and the first major targets, and why I give you this now is because you need to understand where you're buying it right now, right? And you can see that this target is sitting at 80, I would say between the 75 and the $80 range. Okay, now again, this line here says $82. Always sell before that. Never sell exactly where everyone thinks it will sell, right? So you always sell before that. $75 to $80 is the first target. That's already a good 2-3x, right? And then we do have a target of $120 to $130 too. I 100% think Chainlink can get there, because if Chainlink got to 53, okay, on a Bitcoin that was at $60,000, Bitcoin's double in price now. And I want to explain something to you guys now, what that basically means. The market will always diversify out of Bitcoin to altcoins at some point, right? When the market is ready to accelerate to another level, it will diversify the money, okay? But you got to understand that Bitcoin is double the size this time, okay? So if your ETH hit $4,900 and your Solana hit $260 in the past, that was on a $60,000 Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin starts going anywhere near the 130s, 150s, 180s, you're looking at 3 times more money that will be diversified into that. So it is very clear here that if a Chainlink last cycle hits at $50, there's a no $100, you know, and we're looking at 20. That's really good. And again, this is more of my capital. I don't want to play around. Okay, I'm not putting a lot of my money into gaming and stuff because it's volatile. When it comes to these tokens, this is bigger parts of my portfolio, right? It's basically bringing it back. And I remember I taught this a long time ago. Just see if it's here. But that's basically what it is. It falls under my top sort of category, you know, where I have a bigger percentage within that. So Chainlink is looking really good. Okay, next one over here, which I don't think there's much time left. I see there's a lot of hype around Doge. I think Doge is in a great entry, to be honest, okay? The reason why I say I think it's a great entry, because I don't think it's going to get anywhere near the entries that you had the beginning of the year, right? Or the beginning of last year. I don't think it's going to get anywhere near that again, right? Firstly, this thing has gotten out of the major bear cycle, right? It definitely got out. And what's nice about this is it's actually literally turned phase A into support, which means it broke out. It's now retesting phase A. Okay, and from here now we go to the phase B highs over here. And every time you could just see here, it is a little bit volatile, and that's why for me I would take a little bit of a longer term approach buy on Doge versus just trading at short term. Short term, just know the market's choppy. It's going to be a bit choppy, but soon the market will trend again, and your short term trading will become a lot of fun again, right? But if you want to play it a lot more easier, you just take a longer term approach and say, I'm buying this area now for the next 6 to 9 months, right? And I'm giving this thing some room. Okay, and you could see here, there is, I saw yesterday, I think they put the logo or something or anything like that. There's going to be a lot of hype around Doge. And I think we're running out of time here. It's definitely been accumulating, breaking out a trend in the retest zone now. And I do think a 35 to 37 cent Doge is a good price. Now let's go through the high time frames here and show you guys what I'm seeing on Doge, right? Where do I see Doge going next? Because I definitely see Doge breaking all-time highs. I definitely do, right? Again, on a $60,000 Bitcoin, Doge has gotten to 70 cents before. Okay, now you got to understand again, there's double the money in circulation. So let's go through a couple of tools. This is why it stopped. Okay, look at this. Because of the 0.618. That's exactly where it stopped, right? And what they basically say is now what you have is that's resistance. But the moment you go through the 0.618, you go to the next 618. Right. So what I think where we are buying this in the 30 to 40 cents mark within Doge, I think it's entries to the 1.2. Okay. And I do have another target of 1.7. Okay. But I want you to seriously look at these targets that I'm giving you guys. And I want you to look at the lower one with more seriousness than the top one. Right. Basically meaning that in this phase over here, this is a good area to bank a decent amount of money. Right. This is the cherry on top. Right? So this is the cake. This is all the cream. This is great. That is the cherry on top. Okay. So yes, I do think Doge can hit $2. And I do think that these are great entries over here. Another one as well, which is a sleeper in my opinion, is Cosmos. Right? Cosmos, strong ecosystem. Okay. Has strong mega rallies. It actually had a really good rally when it came into the whole Trump thing being elected and things like that. And I think Cosmos is getting ready for a really strong pump. If we look here on the short time frame, it is breaking out now, one of the stronger tokens to the upside. You can see it's only one of the only ones that are green today. Okay, but on the high time frame, I'm seeing Cosmos have a really strong push. You are catching a phase A token. Okay, and this for me, fundamentally, I still like Cosmos very much. Right, but look at where you're buying this considered to where you are buying Solana, where you're buying Chainlink, and where you're obviously buying Doge, right? Look at this over here. Now, this token, I don't need to think much further than all-time highs, to be honest. I don't need to think that this token is going to go to $100, whatever. I can look at highs, right? And that's $40. You know, you're already looking at a strong, 6x, 7x from current areas we're at now. So this one's looking good. The next one as well, which I think we saw it on the balance sheet within this as well, is Aave, right? Aave is definitely a sleeper. And I just want to remind you here, that look how it's breaking out of the daily. Breaking out of the daily right now, looking incredibly strong over here. Another token for a longer term view. Now let's go through a couple of altcoins because I think altcoins are going to start waking up. Remember Litecoin. Now again, guys, this is not my favorable what I'm buying and holding for 10 years, right? However, altcoins pump hard in bull markets. So I actually have a altcoin portfolio, right? And what that basically looks like is it's probably around 5% of my portfolio. And I'm aping into altcoins. I don't care what anyone says, right? Everyone doubted me a lot in the past. I think altcoins, firstly, they've survived bear markets, right? Which a lot of tokens have not. How many tokens died the last bear market, right? They've survived. I think this is its third or fourth bull market Litecoin. Right, super straight when it comes to Litecoin over here. So there's a couple over here that I'm taking places in. I'm buying Cardano. I'm buying Litecoin. I'm buying Ethereum Classic, and I want to show you guys a mega Ethereum Classic pump that I think is going to happen, and I will show you on the high time frames here. So let's jump in here to Ethereum Classic. Why? Because I'm bullish on ETH, right? And this thing goes absolutely berserk when ETH goes berserk. So I want to show you guys something over here. I want to show you that this thing is actually breaking trends, strong trends, okay? And we're retesting right now. But where this thing I see going, as I see 100 to 100, I see a mid-range pump incoming, and I do think it's going to happen like this. Now again, guys, I want to remind you what is so important, okay, is to understand here that your coins are going to all pump at different times. You need to get out of them, okay? So which means now I'm going to take 5 or 10 old coin positions, right? But when it does this, get out, okay? Because your coin is going to pump on different days. Litecoin will pump today, 3 weeks time, Ethereum Classic will pump. Okay, so you're taking the bets, but you're not holding them, and you're not going to do this yo-yo crap anymore, right? And what I'm trying to say there is we're not going to hold these things and then go all the way back down. That's not how it's going to work. Okay, all of these coins are going to have their day. And when they have their damn day, and this thing does a parabolic run of a 4x in 3 days, you take your damn profits at 100 and 120. Okay, you leave 10% in case this thing wants to do something ridiculous, and you move on, right? So Ethereum Classic, a big one. I was looking at HBAR. Now, the Ethereum Classic, in my opinion, is a better entry than HBAR, right? A Litecoin entry is better than HBAR. Okay, but nonetheless, HBAR is definitely one of the stronger tokens, right? And what's it? The ISO, it falls a part of that bunch too. Okay, and you could see here that this token broke out already and now coming to a retest. So HBAR will be on my lower part of the month, but I do think it's going to go parabolic. Look how this thing went absolutely berserk. And now we go to the high time frames here. Okay, this thing gets to all-time highs. I'll just give you a little bit of an idea of where the next major target is. You're looking at an 80 to a 90 cent move on HBAR, right? Again, when this happens, get the hell out, make some money. And just remember, this thing has pumped over here as well. So if you got $10,000 to put into altcoins, I'd put 1,000, 1,500 in HBAR versus a Ethereum Classic, where I'll maybe put 2,000, 2,500 in, right? Just the amount of money that you put into things is what's important. Don't never be afraid to enter stuff. Never be afraid. If the chart's good, the price is good, get the hell in. Just the amount of money that you use is very important. Algorand. Oof, I think this is a beast. Okay, it falls part of the ISO. You know, if you don't know what that is, I'll show you guys tomorrow. I'll get the whole, it's this whole new banking system, right, that they're building. And that's why XRP went through the roof and why Stellar went through the roof and why HBAR went through the roof. They're all part of this little group, right, to take over the money system, right? Basically, maybe oppositions to Bitcoin. I don't know. We'll see, right? But nonetheless, there's a lot happening here, right? And I want to show you here on the high time frame here when it comes to algo. This is really good, right? Firstly, this thing is bottom range. Right. Secondly, from here, algo is actually doing something. Now, a lot of people are worried at this point that it's not doing anything. Guys, what's been building behind doors, okay, when you have algo and XRP working together and all these groups of tokens, have we actually got that list? Maddie, can you put it up for me? Can you get it for me? Remember the ISO, that all the amount of projects that are part of this thing. Okay, you'll see what's happening. There's a lot being built under.
I'll find it. I'll go find it.
Find it for me, please, or just ask the guys. I think Jay or Craig will have it.
Sheldon, it's actually a category on CoinGecko now.
CoinGecko, but I want to show them but I want to show them that mind map. I want to show them how it's all linking and these sort of things. Thank you. So this one for me, guys, I do think is a good long-term entry. I really do. And my first major target is, I don't think about 1.618. I think about 0.618. That's the first one, right? And that's sitting at 1.6 to 1.8. Okay, so this is a good altcoin, good entry at these areas over here. Let's see if we can find it up. I just want to show you guys what we are seeing here. So Algo, I think it's been a sleeper, but I do think it is a very, very, very big opportunity. I really do. Considering all the altcoins, I think this is one of the best ones, right? One of the best entries over here. So again, if I had $10,000 that I'm putting into these tokens, I'd probably put around 2,500 to 3,000 in algo, right? When it comes to these sort of bets and these sort of views over here as well. Yes, how is our likes looking, Maddie?
Currently just under 1.5.
1.5. Let's go. Get them 2K and I'll start giving away. I still got a lot of altcoins to go through, so we're going to spend some time over here. Okay, let's go through a couple of things again. When it comes to money right now, if you guys want to know a bit of my bull market portfolio, right? The way it's basically looking at this point is it's starting to outweigh quite a bit of ETH at the moment. I'm starting to go very large on ETH because remember, I'm banking all my money in Bitcoin this cycle. Bitcoin and fiat, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm going 50-50 end of the cycle, which means right now I have a very little amount of Bitcoin. Okay, I don't have a lot of Bitcoin right now at all. Okay, because I see a lot of the market outperforming Bitcoin, and I'm going to cash into Bitcoin. So it's not that I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's gold, right? But when it comes to the portfolio size, so ETH is very outlaying a lot of my portfolio right now. So is the Solanas and the Injectives and all of these specific tokens. And then I got around 7%. It's actually shifting to about 9% within this week in gaming. Okay, I have around 3% in AI agents. Okay, reason being is because AI agent still has to go through a bear market. So I'm not too interested this cycle. Where I think AI agent is going to make you a lot of money is next cycle, right? But I do think there's money to be made now. But when it comes to long-term entries, where I know the blue chips, I'd say around 3% is sitting in the AI agents. I got around 2% in blue chip memes. Okay, which I actually want to speak about. I don't know if I have them all yet today. I'll speak about those a bit tomorrow as well. Okay, and what I'm basically doing is I'm just starting to shift and make sure that all these percentages are perfectly in place. So when it comes to gaming, another bet that I bought more of was 𝗪𝗢𝗓. There's a triple bottom happening here, right at the bottom range here. Okay, again, this is the 7 to 9% part of my portfolio, and 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗓 is one of the smaller parts of that too. So this won't even be 1% of my portfolio, but this thing, guys, I do see to 1.618. I see all these gaming tokens go to 1.618, and that for me is already a mega move, right? If we look at the percentage there, you're probably looking at around a 400% over there on 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗓, right? Nakamoto, I bought more of. I want to show you guys here, Naka. Over here, Naka is what's it in the Japanese or that sort of side, but multiple games are built on this, right? There's a lot happening within this. They built a lot in the bear market. We actually I got it a lot in this area over here, but I've been buying a lot more recently over here too. Okay, this for me is a gaming ecosystem, not just a game, right? There's a lot that's happening within this. And what I love about this is I'm buying something that used to be the highs of a bear market. I'm buying it now as a low at support. This is a token that I think can get to $10 personally, but I think a really good take profit is around the $4.5 to $5 is a starting to ladder out position. I think this is at least a 5 to 10x trade. I really do. Another one that I think that is coiling up pretty quickly is Ape token. Another gaming, right? This one I do think is a 5 to 10x, maybe even a little bit more. Okay, so this I think is in a really good buy zone. Remember, this is not a trade. This is something we buy for the bull market and be patient, right? Superfarm. I think Superfarm is cheap again, and I want to show you guys something on Superfarm. Superfarm's got a very similar thing that it does multiple times, right? And I just want to show you this here. It actually has deeper pullbacks, right? And I think gaming as a whole has deeper pullbacks than any other altcoins, right? But it always falls into this beautiful pocket. And I want to show you guys this for a second. So this thing obviously has ridiculous runs to the upside. But when it pulls back, it actually has around 70% pullbacks, right? 60 to 70% pullbacks. And what that's known is obviously the golden pocket, right? It's known as your two very, very, very best investing Fibonacci levels. And it's your 618 to 786. And basically, it's known as the golden pocket, right? And I just want to show you guys on the left-hand side here, look how well this thing does, and look how it always respects the golden pocket, right? So you had the first big pump over here. Okay, and then it comes 70% cheaper, golden pocket, and has another mega pump. Now we are straight back into the golden pocket, right? So entry here, I think, is a good area on Superfarm. High time frame, what I think is going to happen to Superfarm is, let's go look at the fibs. Firstly, it broke a very important high on the last pump. So that opens doors now to a 1.618. So it's a 3.3, and I have a $5 target on Superfarm. This one would be a little bit more of my capital, okay? A little bit more of my cash, because it's more of a larger cap and one that I think that's obviously going to dominate the space. We then have Beam as well. Very good Beam entry here, and I got 6 cents and obviously higher ones within, but Beam is also one of the larger caps, one that I put a little bit more within over here as well. Guys, here is that's that ISO. Look at that. So you got Ripple, you got Stellar, okay, you got Quant, and this was actually a token that I did have on here. No, I'll see if I did load it or not. But look at all of this. They try to build a new financial system, right? There's Algo over there. You could see it in that area over there. There's even IOTA sitting here. So when you saw the beginning of the year, you saw this pump, right, between these altcoins. A lot of them fell in this category over here. Okay, so I think this is going to have another leg, and I think this is going to have another pump that's incoming. And that's why I wanted to mention altcoins for you guys today, is I think altcoins are a lot more legit than what we actually think, right? I think a lot of people because they were a little bit more boring, I'd say, in markets. I actually think they were the silent ones that were building in the back end, where a lot of these big macho coins were talking in the front end. We're not actually doing too much. When it comes a little bit more to the AI space, again, this is 2%, 3% of my portfolio. We don't know enough, right? So what that basically means now is there is very likely 50 to, I would say 20 to 50 X's going to reveal themselves in AI. I do. Okay, I don't think they will stay there though at a 50x, but I think there is a lot of money to be made in AI. However, we don't know enough, which means where you're going to really know the quality of these AI tokens will be next cycle, right? Which means for now, you're finding the best ones and you're doing a small part of your portfolio and you're taking bets, okay? And you're looking for the popcorn effect. When you have that popcorn effect, you're going to take them. There's definitely a lot of money to be made, okay? But again, I think it will all be sold off later on. So these are a couple over here. AI 116, I want to show you guys, a little bit newer, breaking trend. Looks really good. Right? So you can go do a little bit more research on these if you like them. Chart-wise, looking good, right? Virtuals, we know this, right? This one's really good. Okay, I like that it's cheaper from the tops. It's actually, this is one that I think is a blue chip, right? This one's going to dominate probably this cycle. One of the top ones that are going to dominate. That is already dominating, right? And this one is now currently making a nice bull flag. Okay, in this area, keep an eye out here. It's very close to the entries that I gave you guys last week. I think virtuals is a good entry to have some for the bull. The next one is swarms, right? Look at swarms. This looks really good over here, right? So there are nice couple of AI tokens over there as well to take a couple of bets and to dip you into the space. And remember, you can also use CoinGecko to go find a couple more. Another gaming project that I'm getting into at the moment is 𝗦𝗡𝗧𝗧. Okay, where you can actually build horses and people can bet on your horses and they can race with your horses and all of these sort of things. You could have a look here. Okay, very, very, very nice. I actually like how they can make these things robot vibes. Reminds me of Arnold Schwarzenegger vibes. But this is another one that I'm also currently looking at quite a bit at the moment. So I'm definitely dipping my toes into the gaming industry. Again, this one, you can go do some research on it. But this one is called, let's just see here, is 𝗦𝗡𝗧𝗧𝗧 Unity as well. You can go have a look at that, new to the space and looking really, really, really good. Guys, remember, if you're opening up, so I just want to remind you over here again, Sniper Club, I'll be live shortly doing some very cool strategies over there. Remember, I have Sniper School starting next week. So if you used any of my links, any of my CoinW links, remember, if you sign up, you don't have exchange today, no KYC, you sign up, you get $50, you put $100 deposit, you get another $100 free, and you get $200 once you open up your first trade. Okay, but if you get any of these exchange links between 𝗬𝗥, remember 𝗬𝗥, I've been trading massive volume on this for a while, so very, very, very good exchange. There's also a strong sign-up bonus. But if you sign up with any of these over here, you can get into the school for free. Okay, and I will see you all next week over there. If you want Bitfunded, I think let's give away some Bitfunded. So I just want to remind you guys what Bitfunded is. It's prop trading, and if you want to learn how to trade, it's probably the best way to learn because you're not going to put all of your money in. You know, so for example, if you had $5,000, why do you want to go learn? You know that there's something within crypto. You know, in the normal system, if you want to go get education, you pay $10,000 a year to become a doctor, right? Or $20,000 a year to become a doctor. In crypto, you can decide how much you want to pay to learn. So if you want to learn how to leverage that at $20, and that's the money you're putting in to learn, it's only going to cost you $20 to learn the skill, right? Where if you're going to go put $5,000 to learn, you're going to probably lose that $5,000 and pay $5,000, right? So this, for me, if you want to dip your world into leverage trading, this you pay $79, and there's 2 levels to pass. They give you a demo account, and if you pass the first one with 8% and the second one 5%, you actually unlock $5,000 of real money. Okay, and every profit trade that you make, you will get 90% of the profits. Okay, so this teaches you that if you get it right, you're going to trade a lot more money than what you have, right? Which is really good. Because remember, you can trade that $5,000 on leverage, which means you can actually trade at 20,000 or 25,000. It's crazy, right? But on the downside, you're only going to lose that if you're struggling. You're not going to get liquidated in all your money. So let's go. Let's give you a Bitfunded. I'm giving away these ones over here, $79 package. You get over here, no problem. So I can drink tequila. Banks, let's go. You get a Bitfunded, and let's give away one more as well. One more. Let's go. Stoned boy. There is a Bitfunded for you. Guys, love you lots. See you tomorrow. Remember, the market is going to wake up at any moment. So for now, take your damn long-term bets and then get your butts ready. When the market moves, we're going to trade the crap out of it, right? And we're going to have a lot of fun. So keep motivated, keep strong, keep healthy, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.